We went undercover to get pitched by a 9-figure digital marketing agency, and what we found will blow your mind. We booked a call with a digital marketing agency, went through their entire sales process, we got pitched by their salespeople, and we found mistakes that they were making that are costing them millions. And the good news is, the mistakes they're making that are costing them millions, you now don't have to make, and you can make millions by fixing them. If you've ever experienced a shitty sales pitch, throw yourself in the comments. We want to know, we want to hear the story, and we want to potentially do a breakdown for them, just like we're about to do in this video.
Oh, and by the way, we're Make Sales Great Again. My name's Todd, this is Brandon. Combined, we've sold over $1 billion in sales in multiple different industries, and now we help people sell more and make more money. We've been doing it for almost 50 years, and 50 years is basically me, because I'm the old guy. But we've got a lot of experience in what we do, and if you want to know a little bit more about what we do, just click the link in the description below.
So how do we do what we do in the A.D.R process? We reach out to a company as an interested prospect. We understand how they responded to our inquiry. We get into a sales pitch in the environment, in the demo. We give real objections to see how they're going to overcome those and how they react to the objections that we're giving. We then give the classic think about it. We get into the follow-up funnel to see how are they following up? Are they following up? And then after the fact, we go back and dissect each and every step of the process. What they did amazing and what they were horrible at, and it's costing them tons and tons of money, to do a breakdown given to you guys in this video right here. So the 4 things that we reviewed with this company. Number 1 was initial outreach. Number 2 was the first contact and sales scripting. The 3rd is the actual sales pitch itself. And finally, the follow-up process. So let's give you an introduction into the company, and we're gonna give you a little bit of a hint here for this video. We're actually not going to give you the name of the company. We're not going to give you the name of the rep. We're not going to show you the rep's face. We're not going to show you the company's website. And we're even going to go so far as to give a voice changer on the rep's voice. And the reason for all these things is because it was, quite honestly, one of, if not the worst sales pitch Todd and I, in our years and years and years of experience, have ever experienced in our entire life, by a quote-unquote 9-figure digital marketing company. So we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna give some real feedback, but what we're not gonna do is do that at the cost of someone's reputation. So what we will do is take the link to this video and shoot this company the email and say, hey, if this is a proof you need us, I don't know what the hell is.
So let's dive into the initial outreach and the first impression. And I actually reached out to the company because I saw an ad online. So I clicked the ad, which routed us to the sales page, and then they gave us a direct booking on the sales page for the meeting, which all was fine. Then they sent a value email that sent out the time of booking, which was Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. So it was very recently, as you guys know. The text message was sent at the time of the booking, Tuesday, February 11th at 3:59 p.m. This is how interested we get into all the times and actually dates that we do things, so you guys can have that information. They sent 2 value emails from subscribing to list probably, and then sent another one on February 12th, which was their follow-up, I guess. When I booked the call then, they enrolled me into this email list, and I got an email instantly, which was also good. Reminder email was sent an hour prior to the meeting on Thursday, February 13th at 3 p.m. And then 4 text messages came in from a concierge group, okay? Very fancy name, sounded great, and it was sent within an hour prior to the meeting. At 3:02 p.m., there was a video from the owner. It was specific to us. It had our name in the video, which is very cool. At 3:25, a text reminder from their admin team. At 3:31 p.m., a voice memo from the owner saying my name and that we're meeting the VP, which is very cool, gives some credibility. And then at 3:53, a voice memo from the owner that said my name and how they've been prepping and how they're excited to work with us. So here's where they did very, very well. A good ad, and they they better have a good ad because their sales pitch was absolutely horrible. There was a no hassle booking, which was awesome. There was tons of communication and value leading up to the meeting. And then there was social proof with the meeting with warm up. They sent voice, video, email, text, all of it was used. So here's where they sucked in the initial outreach. I don't really think much. They actually did pretty good at the initial outreach and then follow up obviously before the call. I guess I would actually love to hear Brandon's opinion on this because I thought the texting was excessive. I was actually getting annoyed because the texting was so much. And Brandon and I kind of think differently about this stuff because Brandon's like, I want to be blown up 24/7. But the truth is like, I got so many messages prior to the call that it was definitely annoying because there's a lot of back and forth when I was like, guys, I got it. And finally, I literally said to them, I was like, I'm a professional. It's on my schedule. I got it. Stop texting me or I'm not going to be on the call. That was it.
Yeah, it was really good. So we'll actually throw up on the screen kind of a screen recording of, so you can actually see the live text messages. So as you can see, it was a lot. Now, my opinion is I loved it. Now, it was annoying because we were in a meeting and we were getting blown up on our phones, but I loved it because the simple fact of the matter is, despite, you know, Todd getting more frustrated than me on this one probably, guess what? We got on the meeting and we knew when it was happening, and it was annoying. So we're gonna dive into the actual script and the pitch that we were involved in with the rep, right? So we've got some recordings we're gonna play for you. We're gonna change the voice so you can't hear who it is, but we're gonna run through this. And this is a quick clip of the very first words that came out of this rep's mouth right when we got on the pitch.
You guys are the last call of the day, so I'm ready to get home, go hit the gym, go crazy, you know?
I think his actual words were crazy, yo.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah. It was actually insane. So some positives that I like about this. I understand if he was doing this strategically, I did appreciate the fact that he was trying to be real, trying to be personable. He could see that we were, you know, some young, good-looking stallions, obviously.
Did you just call me young?
Yeah, dude, just compliment.
This is so good. I'm glad this is online. It's going to be here forever.
Day it is. So considering the things that he did, like, absolutely horribly, what would we suggest, you know, some strategies suggest to you doing at the very introduction of a call? The first thing that we always believe in is gratitude. Listen, guys, man, I know you're busy. I know you're crazy busy, just like I am. I really appreciate your time. You got options out there, and I genuinely appreciate the fact of, you know, that you're giving me the opportunity to earn your business. Quick, right away, instant gratitude. All right, so in this clip, it's gotten to the point, unfortunately, this clip should have never happened, but this clip happened because of a bad beginning to the sales call. But this is us basically having to ask, so what do you actually do, and how do you do it? And you're gonna hear a little bit of conversation between Todd and I. We're gonna ask the question, you're gonna get the response.
So yeah. I guess what's the, I mean, so what do you guys do then? All right, so now we have the way, we kind of already doing that now. How do you guys help?
So the main value, like where we really help people, is like the copy side of things. So like, yeah, you guys can build your own landing pages and funnels. That's pretty easy for you guys because ClickFunnels and Go High Level are like, they're easy to use. Really where we help is just like the copy side of things. So it's like, what are the things they read and see, and like conversion rates, like just all the nerdy stuff, essentially, like people that don't know, just like everything on the back end in terms of the ads. Really, that's like the main value, which is like, okay, we're running ads, like what's going on, how much does it cost us to get someone to opt in, how much does it cost us to get someone to buy, how much does it cost us to get someone to go through the entire thing. So it's really just mainly like back end. That's really where we give people value. Like, yeah, we do funnels, landing pages as well, you know, but the main value is really just the ads part. Is just like, how can we actually get the ads to convert? Because realistically, like, ads are really simple. People just overcomplicate it. And also because a lot of people are out there just selling dreams to people, which is like up. But like, ads are literally like this. You have top, middle, and bottom. Top of the funnel is cold traffic. I have no idea who you are, what the heck you do, nothing. Middle is, I've either seen you before, I've seen a video, I've been on one of your websites before. And then hot is, I've bought something from you before, I've watched, you know, and consumed a large portion of your content. So it's like, how do you run ads to all three and get each one to convert? And how do you move people down the funnel so they actually convert? That's like really like where we help people out. It's really just like data and numbers. That's really like the big value piece that people really care about.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna have to read my notes on this one because I have to explain how bad this is. All right, so the very first thing, the words that come out of his mouth are,
really where we help is just like the copy side of things.
I'm trying to like pretend like I'm him. So zero excitement in his voice, horrible tonality, zero conviction. He is not a credible professional in this environment at all. When he says, really, it's just like the copy side of things, bro. Like, you talking about, right? And it makes it sound like he diminishes value instantly because he takes all these amazing things that they could very well do really well, and he dilutes it all the way down to just this one, just copy. We're just copywriters, and that's it. So then he continues to say, really just like the back end nerdy stuff, like ... like, so again, filler words, zero conviction. So it's just like the nerdy stuff, and hopefully maybe he just doesn't think we're nerds and we aren't smart enough to ask the questions to really find out the details of what they do. And then, like, yeah, we do landing pages and stuff, but the main value is in ... So Todd and I place a lot of value in someone that can create a badass landing page with amazing copy. And he just basically takes that thing that we would have placed value in and put it in the garbage because they're good at like the back end, like nerdy stuff, you know?
Well, he almost he almost made me feel stupid, right? Like, oh, anybody can create a landing page and and then he suggested 2 other resources that we know very well that can pretty much do what they do, right? And I don't know if you guys heard him when he said it. He said like, yeah, well, the main value's in the copy. And then it switched from the copy into the nerdy back end stuff. And I'm just like, so which do you do? If you don't do, so basically anybody can do a landing page. So if I can do a landing, or if I can't do a landing page, I guess I'm an idiot, right? And then which is the main stuff that you guys do? I was confused, and he also made me feel stupid, which made me not want to buy.
So moving on to the next one. This is where we've got the classic question that the prospect, or AKA us, is asking, what's the cost? How much money is this going to be? And this is how he responds.
Okay, so what's something like that cost, and what is, I mean, you guys obviously run the ads for us, or we run the ads, and you just do that back end, just so.
So it's 90% done for you. The 10% from your side is really just like feedback, like to us, like, hey, here's what I'm seeing, here are the type of people that are buying, here's what I'm getting. So the 10% from you is just the feedback piece, and then, you know, we script out all of the ads for you guys. It's just on you guys to provide us with the raw footage of that content. And then we edit it, you know, add the captions, make it look pretty, do the filters and everything. And then other than that, I mean, we put you guys in a Slack channel together with us. And we drop your numbers every 7 days in terms of like, hey, here's how much we spent. Here's how many leads we got. Here's how many sales we got. Here's what our cost per acquisition was. Here's what we want to do next week. For the first 21 days, you know, you'll spend a very small portion of money towards ads just to kind of figure out like top and middle of the funnel, like what can you really expect? Where can we go with this? And then, you know, by month 2, that's where we can like ramp up and be like, okay, we're spending $50 a day, we're doing well, let's do 100. We're doing good, $100 a day, let's do 150, then 200. So you start super small with the budget and then just ramp up as long as, you know, we're getting the results that we want.
What's the cost?
So it's a 4-month commitment that we do. The 2 entries, or 2 different options for entry are, you can do $3K for just a monthly retainer if you just want to pay us monthly. And then the other option is you can just pay us a flat cost where you just pay for 3 months and we give you the 4th month for free, which is $9K.
You know, he was saying that 90% of it is done for you. It helps us because basically, if they're going to do 90% of it, we're spending our dollars with them, there's value there for sure, right? Like if you're going to do all that and we give you the money and there's only 10% requirement on our end, that's awesome. He continued to present how the engagement would increase perceived value, which basically just means like, you know, there's a lot of, we call it reduce the risk of trying, right? We don't want you to spend too much money right now. We're going to kind of A/B test, see which one works better. And then eventually you guys can spend more money over time. So, you know, there is definitely clear expectations of the money we're going to spend, how that process is going to work. So he did really well there.
The one thing that I disliked the most was the fact that I literally had to ask again. He asked how much is it, gives him the whole rundown. I don't dislike him giving the rundown before he gives the number. I like that. I want to see value, drop the number. But he never dropped the number. So then he stops and I had to go, so what's the cost? And then he spits out the number. So that was by far in a way, other than the fact that, again, we had to ask the question before he brought it up. That was the biggest problem I had with that section. So in this clip, again, Todd and I have to ask and pry for the information that we should have received in the pitch anyways.
Okay, and then so when you say done for you, so you guys, again, I'm stuck. Do you have something that like shows like what you guys do? Because like, I mean, I hear you saying it's done for you, but like.
Yeah, I mean, I could show you if you want to like see it visually. That's fine.
Here's the feedback that I would give off that. Yes, I do want to see something because that's what we just asked for. Don't say, yeah, if you want to see something, that's fine. Yeah, that's why we asked the question. We want to see something.
I couldn't even believe he didn't have something prepared for credibility, because if you're trying to sell somebody something that really you've not given any context of what you've done yet, he probably thinks he's done a great job in the presentation so far. It would be shocking if he does, which is why this marketing company needs us more than any marketing company on the planet right now. But it's just like, why do you not have it prepared? You know what I mean? Like, I want to see something, dude. Like, we just asked you for it. I was literally, blood was boiling.
So finally, we're going to play a clip of his response to our final objection of the classic, I'll think about it, I'll get back to you.
So basically do all that shit and it's $3K a month.
$3K a month for 4 months, or $9K up front if you want to save on the 4th month.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, you know, the thing about it is, man, is that like we're just kind of like, I'll be honest with you, man, like very jaded, because there was another person that did some outfit like you. I forgot what his name was. Remember Jose or Javier or whatever his name was, in Miami or whatever. And it's very similar stuff, and we just lit money on fire, dude. So I know you guys said make a decision at the end. We're definitely not. So I'll follow back up with you. Is that your number in the chat?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So here's my word, because like I said, we teach this very integrity based. We'll get back with you tomorrow no matter what. Okay, and just let you know, we'll talk to Brandon. We've got another partner could be on the call. Just talk to him as well, and then we'll let you know one way or another, man, and we'll give it a shot. But it cost seems, you know, pretty similar to what we paid before. A lot of stuff seems similar. I just you know, obviously I guess it just depends on who's running the ads, right? And I guess you guys are better. So hopefully that's the case. But I promise you we'll reach back out tomorrow. You'll have our answer one way or another, brother, and I cannot thank you enough for your time, sincerely.
Of course, I appreciate you guys coming. You guys have a great day.
His response was, appreciate you guys for coming. Have a great day. This is not the greatest way, as if you're a salesperson, to end a call, or at least try to address that final, we're going to think about it, we're going to need a night to talk it over, we need to talk to some other people, etc., etc. He never got to a point where he asked us for the business. And then what he also didn't do is set any kind of follow-up. He just allowed it to be completely open-ended. He just allowed it to be the prospect is going to reach back out to him. I'm just going to sit around as the sales rep and wait for the prospect to reach back out to me and give me the answer of yes or no. So finally, we are now at the follow-up sequence. So the meeting took place on a Thursday at 4 p.m. There was 0 email follow-up at all to this date, mind you. This was a couple weeks ago. There was no text directly from the salesperson. So what he could have done is obviously text us 5 minutes after, hey, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to hop on with me. I know you got options. I'd love to earn your business. That being said, I understand your hesitations. I look forward to seeing you at this time and this date, you know, next week. None of that happened. We did get a first text follow-up at 9:13 that night. So 9:13 our time that evening. It didn't have any gratitude in it. There was no personal touch to it. It wasn't from, it was from like an automated kind of fake number thing. And they just trial closed asking if we were going to move forward in the text message, when we had already clearly told him we at least needed a day and we promise we'll call you and let you know by tomorrow. So what that instantly told me was, obviously, it's good that they had some kind of automated sequence, but what that didn't take into account is the specific conversations that happened. Now, the second text message follow-up happened 2 days later. So this would have been on Saturday at 9:18 p.m. 9:18 p.m. on a Saturday, 2 days later. What they did is they sent some free value. They sent a little kind of booklet pamphlet thing, which we would have loved to see in the pitch. Finally, the third text message follow-up happened 4 days later after that. After the second one. So now we're at a total of 6 days later at 11:42 a.m. What they did is they sent some testimonials from another client that they had. Again, nothing personal. Again, no gratitude. Again, no trial close. And again, no ask to book an appointment to get back on, have a conversation. Let's figure out whether we're doing this thing or not. It also, again, was not from the rep. The rep was completely ghosted and he relied solely on all of the automations. I liked that there was follow-up. And I liked that they had automations. Automations are key when you're scaling a business, and especially when you get as big as there supposedly are. But what I didn't like is the sequence of them. So a trial close that was too soon given our conversation, and then no trial close happened when it was more appropriate. I didn't like that they were very personal on the front end of the booking. When they wanted us to get on that appointment, they were sending us videos and voicemails and text messages from the dude, all that stuff. But as soon as we give them a think about it and we're maybe deemed as a potential lost opportunity for the average sales dude, now the rep's gone, there's no trial closing, there's none of that. They just rely solely on text. Again, no emails after that, no calls, no voice, none of that stuff. Those are things that would have taken the follow-up game from a C game to an A game. Those are the things you should implement into your game if you have one right now.
So what's the verdict out on this marketing company that we didn't give you the name of the guy, we didn't give you the name of the company? I want you guys to put in the comments right now what you think the verdict is out on this company, on how they're selling and how they're potentially producing business. Marketing is sales. Like, there is no sales without marketing. There's no marketing without sales. Like, they should be hand in hand. A lot of companies, they don't work hand in hand. And it was proven in this sales call that if you're good at marketing all the automated stuff or the nerdy number stuff that he talked about, it doesn't mean you're good at sales. You need quality salespeople. You need to train them to do the right thing in order to get you more opportunities. Only one guy sucks, right? That we've talked to. But what if they had 50 salespeople that are all pitching the same way? If this one guy runs one appointment per day, that's 25 per month for, just call it working days. If the LTV, okay, is assumption is 20K, let's just say it's a super low assumption, right? They're losing millions of dollars, but their missed opportunities is 20% for sure with how bad he was, without question. If you have 5 missed deals a month, that equals $100,000 a month in lost revenue. That's $1.2 million lost per year for one rep. So if you had 10 reps, you're losing $12 million a year. And I don't care if you're doing 9 figures or $1 billion, $12 million is $12 million. And here's some lessons for the viewers that are watching right now, okay? You'll never get as good or as big as you could without sales, because you're not gonna get as good as you think you can be without great salespeople. You've got to pour into them. You've got to train salespeople. Another lesson, a marketing company is a marketing company. They are not a sales organization that trains top salespeople, but they should be. And so many marketing companies, because they think they're good at marketing, have mediocre sales reps that are leaving millions of dollars on the table. And finally, you guys have got to constantly inspect what your sales reps are doing. If you inspect what they're doing, you're gonna find holes, and that's okay. Finding holes is a very good thing because you can constantly have areas of opportunity where you guys can make a lot more money. But if you know those holes, you understand the KPIs, you know where they're missing, then you can train specifically to that. Rule of thumb, you have got to make sure you're inspecting how your salespeople are pitching, where you can serve them, and then inspect them again. And if you're doing that, you and your company are going to take yourselves and your money to the next level. And if you don't, you might just be like this guy and go work for another marketing company that's losing millions of dollars. I guess if that's what you want to do, don't call a consulting company and don't get the help. But you definitely need it, as we do, as everyone does. So for you viewers out there, get the help because you need it.
So thank you guys for watching the video. Obviously, if you're watching me right now, that means you loved it. Throw in the comments if you've had a horrible experience that you'd love us to do the A.D.R process for. Throw it in the comments, we'll reach out. And if you yourself own a business and want to run the A.D.R process inside of your business, let us know in the comments, we'll reach out. There's also a link in the description. Thank you so much. We will see you next time.
#fix your sales process, bro.